Why is Eileen Gu the most talked about star of Winter Olympics? Eileen Gu cemented her legacy at the 2026 Winter Olympics by winning halfpipe gold and 2 silvers, becoming the most decorated freestyle skier in Olympic history. Born in the United States and competing for China, she embodies the intersection of sport, identity, and global influence. Her technical innovation, scientific training approach, and commercial success have elevated women's freeskiing while inspiring massive winter sports participation in China. Beyond competition, Gu's cultural impact spans fashion, media, and youth inspiration, redefining the modern Olympic athlete. Her career illustrates how elite sport now intersects with geopolitics, branding, and global cultural exchange. Gu's gold in halfpipe and 2 silvers in Milano Cortina 2026 raised her Olympic total to 6 medals, making her the most decorated freestyle skier ever and redefining excellence benchmarks across women's freeski disciplines. Photo credit, Instagram. At just 18, Gu captured 2 gold medals and 1 silver in Beijing, becoming the youngest Olympic freestyle skiing champion and the first athlete in the discipline to win 3 medals at 1 Winter Games. Photo credit, Instagram. Competing in halfpipe, slopestyle, and big air at elite level demands different technical and physical skills. Gu's podium finishes across all events demonstrate a versatility unmatched in modern freestyle skiing competition. Photo credit, Instagram. Her record-setting runs drew massive global viewership and media attention, accelerating recognition of women's freestyle skiing and increasing broadcast value and sponsorship interest in winter action sports. Photo credit, Instagram. Gu became the first woman to land a forward double cork 1440 and helped normalize the 1620 rotation in Olympic competition, raising difficulty expectations and pushing the technical ceiling of elite women's skiing. Photo credit, Instagram. Her takeoff angles, rotation control, and landing stability reflect advanced biomechanical efficiency, illustrating how modern freeski athletes rely on physics-based training to maximize amplitude, rotation speed, and scoring potential. Photo credit, Instagram. Gu uses mental simulation techniques to rehearse jumps before takeoff, a sports psychology strategy proven to improve motor coordination, timing, and confidence in high-risk aerial disciplines. Photo credit, Instagram. Self-described as a statistics nerd, she studies performance metrics and trajectory variables, mirroring the growing role of data analytics and performance modeling in elite winter sports training. Photo credit, Instagram. Why Eileen Gu is the most talked about star of the Winter Olympics. At the heart of every Winter Olympics lies a constellation of elite athletes, skaters, snowboarders, skiers, each a master of icy air and gravity-defying motion. But among them, Eileen Gu stands apart, not just for what she does on the snow, but for what she represents off of it. In the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, Gu's star shone brighter than most, capturing headlines around the world. Her blend of athletic excellence, cultural complexity, global appeal, and fierce individuality has made her not simply a medal winner, but a global symbol, one whose influence extends far beyond ski slopes. Let's explore why. Gold medal 1. A record-breaking athlete, redefining freestyle skiing. At her core, Gu is an extraordinary athlete, a narrative that every legend begins with. In both the 2022 Beijing Olympics and the 2026 Milan Cortina Games, she medaled in all 3 major freestyle skiing disciplines: halfpipe, slopestyle, and big air. Her tally at the 2026 Games includes a gold in halfpipe and 2 silvers in big air and slopestyle, solidifying her position as the most decorated freeskier in Olympic history, male or female. She defended her halfpipe title, becoming only the 2nd athlete in Winter Olympic history to win gold or silver in each of their first 6 individual events, an achievement that stunned the sporting world and etched her name alongside legends. Her athletic prowess alone, her precision, fearlessness, and consistency, would make her remarkable. But Gu's appeal goes far beyond medals. Globe showing Europe, Africa too. A global identity in a globalized world. While many Olympic stars are defined solely by nationality, Gu defies simple categorization. She was born and raised in San Francisco, yet competes for China, the country of her mother's heritage. This duality, a Chinese-American athlete on the world's biggest stage, has made her a lightning rod in a world where identity politics increasingly shapes public narratives. Her choice to represent China is deeply personal. She said she wanted to inspire young girls in China and help grow winter sports there. But it hasn't been without its controversies. Some commentators, especially in the United States, questioned her allegiance, suggesting American-born athletes ought to compete for the U.S. Her decision ignites fierce debate, not just about sports, but about nationalism, representation, and global belonging. In an Olympic arena often dominated by rigid flags and anthems, GU complicates the conversation about loyalty and identity in the 21st century. Camera with Flash 3. A modern icon, beyond the snow. GU is unlike most Olympians because she lives richly in two worlds, sport and culture. She is not only a world-class skier, she's also a fashion model, brand ambassador, and cultural icon. She has modeled for global fashion houses, appeared on international magazine covers, and walked major fashion events, blurring lines between athleticism and style. This crossover appeal makes her not just an Olympic personality, but a pop culture figure, someone that fashion editors, advertisers, and fans outside the sporting world care about. For many young people around the globe, GU embodies a modern ideal, talented, intelligent, stylish, and confident, not confined to a single box or identity. 4. A voice in a world of conversations. GU's public persona isn't just built on awards, it's built on her words, her attitude, and her mindset. At recent press conferences, she impressively clapped back at questions implying disappointment with a silver medal, challenging unfair expectations and redefining success. Her confidence, whether on the slopes or in front of the camera, has inspired many and provoked criticism from others. That mix of praise and pushback fuels discussions that go viral across social media platforms, news outlets, and cultural commentary. Her story resonates in an era where athletes are more than performers. They are thinkers, spokespeople, and public figures. Globe with Meridians 5. A bridge between worlds. In a time of geopolitical tension, GU symbolizes something rare, a bridge between cultures. She speaks both English and Mandarin fluently, engages with fans across continents, and is rooted in diverse communities. Rather than fitting into a single national narrative, she represents a new kind of global athlete, one whose influence transcends borders. In China, she is celebrated as a national hero who inspires millions and helps popularize winter sports. In the West, she is admired for her skill and charisma, but also critiqued by some for her choices. That contradiction itself makes her endlessly compelling in the public imagination. Broken Heart 6. Triumph and Heartbreak. The emotional human story. Part of what makes GU's story resonate so deeply is her humanity. During the 2026 Games, after winning gold in halfpipe, she learned her beloved grandmother had passed away, news that moved many people worldwide. Athletic success often unfolds abstractly on a podium, but moments like these remind us that behind every medal is a real person carrying personal joys and sorrows. Her emotional bravery adds depth to her narrative. She is not just a champion, but a daughter, a granddaughter, and a young woman navigating triumph and loss on the biggest stage. 7. Controversy and conversation. The price of stardom. No global star is without controversy, and GU's is no exception. Her decision to represent China has sparked political debate, social media clash, and even criticism from former athletes and commentators. The discussions about her choices, sometimes emotional, sometimes polarized, show how sports now intersect with asterisk politics, identity, national pride, and global media narrative star. For some, she's an inspiration. For others, she's a symbol of broader tensions. For many, she's both. A complicated figure who refuses to be reduced to a simple story. Her ability to navigate applause and backlash with poise only amplifies her profile and makes her one of the most talked-about personalities of the Games. Glowing Star 8. A symbol of a new athletic generation. Eileen Gu represents a generation of athletes who refuse to conform to traditional expectations. She is academically accomplished, with top SAT scores and Stanford admission, athletically elite, culturally influential, and socially savvy. She embodies the multi-potentialite spirit, someone who is not defined by a single achievement but by a constellation of talents and roles. This resonates especially with young people worldwide, a generation that values complexity, self-expression, and global citizenship. Her story isn't just about skiing, it's about possibility. Checkered flag conclusion. More than an athlete, a global phenomenon. In the panoramic theater of the Winter Olympics, Eileen Gu is not merely an athlete who wins medals. She is A record-breaking champion who rewrites history. A cultural icon who transcends sports. A bridge between nations in an increasingly divided world. A voice for a new generation of global citizens. A captivating figure whose story invites admiration, debate, reflection, and inspiration. Gu's impact isn't temporary. It is emblematic of a changing world where the most compelling stories aren't just about who crosses a finish line first, but about why we care, who we see ourselves in, and what it means to belong.